We are now in week 10 of this NFL season, and we had a lot of good games last week. Doesn't look good on my record, I will go ahead and tell you. But either way, it's been really good. Here, I'll go ahead and show you my record. We're sitting at a solid 8-6 for last week. Not great. To be fair, there's a lot of crazy games between the Bucs and the Texans, the Falcons and the Vikings, not to mention the great matchups of the Bills and the whoever and the Dolphins and Bengals, Bills, and Dolphins, Chiefs, excuse me. But yeah, that total's not correct. I forgot to add it. That would be 72 and 48. Just remembered I forgot to do that. But it's whatever. Let's get right into these predictions. First up, let's go over our bye weeks. The Rams, the Eagles, the Dolphins, and the Chiefs are all on bye. Dolphins, Chiefs, they obviously played last week. Chiefs did win. They go to a bye. Eagles won last week. And the Rams got beat by the Packers last week, interestingly enough. So, they're all going to bye. We're getting to the point where, bye weeks are about to start thinning out. Not too many teams left to take those. But there are a few left. Moving on either way. Thursday Night Football. Somebody should get fired for this matchup. Oh, but Justin Fields and Bryce Young from week 1, the trade, all that, who cares? Neither of the teams should have been expected to have been that good. The Panthers have been one of the overall worst teams in the league. The Bears move the ball, but they're not very good otherwise. I mean, they make mistakes. They're stupid things. They don't play defense. Not a good team. I do have to pick somebody to win this game. Yeah, it's a toss-up. I had hope for the Panthers last week. Did not pan out for me too well there. Wish it did, but it didn't. So, whatever. Either way, I'm going to take the Panthers on this one. Tyson Bagent has, regressed quickly. Each week seems to get a little worse and a little worse. And the Panthers do seem to be becoming a bit of a better team overall. So, I'll give it to them this week. The Bears aren't too bad of competition anyway. So, moving on. Patriots. Colts. This is a interesting game because the Colts have been a good team. The Patriots have played certain teams very well, but other teams not. And I have a feeling they're going to play the Colts well. I just feel like this is not a game they're going to lose badly, at least, like they have some games. I feel like it's a game that they will be a part of for a long time. But will they get it done? No. I'm going to have the Colts winning. The Colts are really getting close to that, trying to scrape into the wild card spots, even with Minshew playing. So that's respectable for them. That is a Germany game, just to keep track of that. That'll be interesting to see there as well. Moving on. Bengals, Texans. Bengals are finally getting on a roll. I don't know if they've lost a game since week 3. Good for them. The defense has been good. The offense, that number looks worse than it has been because that number includes all season. They've definitely made a big stride on offense recently. So you got to give them some credit there. The Texans, however, they've certainly started to slowly decline, it feels like. C.J. Stroud, he's just not going to be perfect. He's a rookie, and it's just starting to show now. So how long does it last before they tank and just start, eating those losses really quick? This one, I have to give it to the Bengals. You think you'd be stupid not to. They're just the better team right now, case in point. An NFC battle of two 5-4 teams, the Vikings and the Saints. Vikings offense has, it looked pretty good last week, even with Josh Dobbs coming in off of a short week. He's very functional as a player. He just is. He may not be the best, but, he's a good number 2. You can take that much and run with it, and that's shown. The defense has been better than, a lot of expectation. Can they make things happen and win some games and get themselves into the playoffs? Very much maybe. That NFC, the backside of it, is not very strong. They can probably make the playoffs. Justin Jefferson will be back, maybe not this week, but probably the next, if so. His 21-day window opens, I believe, today or tomorrow. So he'll be practicing. It's just a matter of how fast they get him up to game speed. And I doubt he plays this week. I doubt he plays in this game. But after that, you don't know. They're going to be careful with him simply because of the fact that, they're, trying to not kill everybody while they wait for next year since Kirk's already out. But it is what it is. The Saints, on the other hand, Derek Carr's starting to put it together a little bit. Looks a little bit better. Can't say he had the best game last week, but, he's not being the complete bonehead he was to start the season. The defense has been very good this year overall. They are slipping a little bit now, but I think they will be fine ultimately. I'm going to have the Saints winning this one. It's just a tough one for the Vikings. Josh Dobbs, though he has been named the starter, He's not going to be perfect all the way through. Steelers and Packers. Steelers are wearing those throwback block letter jerseys. Let's go, man. Got to be traditional when you're playing the Packers, I guess. It just makes sense in all kinds of ways. Broderick Jones played last week as the right tackle. He looks kind of like he's going to start this week as well. Packers, on the other hand, they had a good win against the Rams, and that's really good for them because I didn't think they were going to do that much. But, yeah, this is going to be a tough one. It is in Pittsburgh, and so that's what's going to give me the lead here. Green Bay just doesn't have enough, and I don't think Jordan Love's good enough at this point, especially with how this Steelers defense has been playing. I feel like they're going to feast on Jordan Love's mistakes this week, and that might be a big reason why they win. This could be a game the Steelers win big for the first time in a while. Moving on, Buccaneers and Titans. Titans have Will Levis, obviously. They lost last week to my Steelers. Bucs lost last week to the Texans on a crazy end-of-the-game play. Bucs have just fallen off a cliff to go through this middle of the season, and I feel pretty bad for them. But they're playing a Titans team who, I mean, as much as I do like Will Levis and think he can be very good for them in the future, right now I just don't see that. I'm going to have the Bucs winning this one. It could go either way, though. Bucs are my pick at this moment, though. The Jags and the Niners. That's a big game right there, man. As you can see by their ranks, two of the upper echelon teams in the league have, top 15 offenses and defenses both. For the Niners, even better. However, the Niners are like the inverse of the Bengals. Their offense was really good to start the year, and they have tailed off pretty hard. So I'd like to see their number within the last few weeks in terms of the offense. Probably not nearly that. Probably back teens, if not 20s. So I don't know. That's just a guess. Either way, this Jags team's on a roll. Trevor Lawrence has been disappointing. I hope we see something out of him this week. This is a big-time matchup. And if he wants to really set himself apart as one of the best quarterbacks in the league, this is a great time to do it against this 49ers team who not only is a good team, but has one of the better defenses in the entire league. So this one, I'm going to have the Jags winning. They're just on a roll. Trevor Lawrence over Purdy. That's about all it has to be. Ravens and Browns. The Ravens have been maybe the NFL's best complete team so far. I'm not buying it completely just because of the vanilla offense they have played. They are not explosive necessarily. They're not incredible by any means, but they just don't make mistakes and they do everything right, which is great. However, I just don't see like that's going to stand up. I feel like this happens every single year. By about this point, we think they're the Super Bowl favorite, they're going to win, they're contender, Lamar MVP. Give it 3 more weeks and he'll be hurt and the team will be 7-5. So, it just is what it is. Not to mention they're playing an AFC matchup this week. Cleveland, whose offense has been meh, defense has been really good. Deshaun Watson came back last week, played okay, pretty decent. Maybe he plays well this week, maybe not. I'm going to have to go with the Ravens winning this one, though. However, divisional game, anything can happen in these divisional games, like I always say. You just never know. You never do. Cardinals and Falcons, battle of the birds, two really bad teams, especially the Cardinals, a very bad team. And now they're starting Clayton Tune. Well, maybe. Kyler might play this week. If he does play, maybe they win. But as it sits right now, I can't take the Cardinals over anything. If Kyler does play, they get a much better shot to win this game. But I still take the Falcons simply for the fact of he hasn't played in a year and a half. So I'll give him that. Chargers and Lions. This is a good matchup. 3 o'clock game. You get this one. Chargers with a pretty good offense, a good defense-ish. And the Lions have been good overall for the most part of the season. And the Chargers are just finally putting it all together. Last week looked really good for them. Special teams was good. Offense was good. Defense was pretty good. A lot of things I like about that Charger team right now. Personally, I like them a lot. Lions, on the other hand, they've started slipping a little bit lately. Just had a bad loss. They were on their bye week last week. Maybe a good time to reset. But I'm going to go with the Chargers winning this one as well. I just think they're in a good spot. They've won a couple games. They're ready to win some more. They're ready to make this playoff run. The Lions, on the other hand, they got too many wins too quick, and they might be getting ahead of themselves a little bit. They might need to be humbled another time so they can finish off this run this year as one of the top seeds in the NFC. Cowboys and Giants, a divisional game. However, this one doesn't matter. I'm not even going to talk about this one. Cowboys. Why would you think anything else at this point? Seahawks and Commanders. This could be actually a really good game. Seahawks have been very iffy. Some weeks they look really good. Some weeks they look like they're one of the worst teams in the league, like last week. Either way, Washington, they don't really have much. Their defense has been terrible, even though they have, a defensive coach, and supposedly one of the best front sevens, or had one of the best front sevens. Not anymore, really. But, yeah, I don't know. They're just not very good. And Seattle, I mean, I'm going to have to take them to win. They just look like the better team overall, and they're not completely trying to tank right now. Raiders and Jets on Sunday Night Football. The Raiders starting Aiden O'Connell, I mean, I think that's a good idea just because of the fact of what are you playing for? Check and see if the guy you drafted has any chance of being your future whatsoever. Probably not, but check it out before you have to do it next year for some reason. Yeah, that, and then the Jets, they have a really good defense. Zach Wilson has made some bonehead plays. He usually redeems himself, has a bad week, has a good week, has a bad week, has a bad week, has everybody hearts hating on him. He has another good week and everybody shuts up for about a couple weeks, and then he'll have a bad week and they'll start hating on him again. So, yeah, at this point, the Jets will win. The defense will carry him to that one. Aiden O'Connell will probably make a lot of mistakes, and it'll cost him a game, pretty much. And Monday Night Football, who made this matchup? Looks like they thought Russell Wilson and Sean Payton would work out. Well, that hasn't really happened. I'd say this is a takeaway for the Bills, and just they're going to run off with it, but in these games, the trap games, they have really been feasted on this year. They've lost multiple games to the Patriots, which I will say, divisional game, once again, you never can tell. Same thing with the Jets game in the first part of the season. You never can tell. It's a divisional game. Things happen. However, this isn't a divisional game, and they should win this game for sure. They have a better offense, one of the better offenses in the league, obviously. A really good defense, even with the injuries they have taken on their team, and that defense especially. The Broncos really just don't have anything going for them. Maybe they get something going this week. They do. Javonte Williams has looked a little bit better as of late. That will help the passing game in terms of getting the running game active. The defense, maybe they make moves, but I doubt it. I'm giving it to the Bills. Either way, that will be it for my predictions this week. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you think your team will win or lose, tell me who your team is. Tell me if you think they're winning or losing. If not, I can't control you. Either way, thanks for watching. Peace.